Hey guys, here we are again, Sammy the Bull with my family here. Um, Monday Live. We have so many things to go on. I have some questions that we didn't answer last week. I'm going to answer them and a few other things. So let's get right to it. And smoking my cigar as usual. I have my cup of coffee. I have my son in the background. Every time I do something fucked up, he's going to throw something at me. So if you see anything come flying by, that's my son. Don't even worry about it. So let's go. Let's go.
Perfect. Hi, Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy. Hey. Hey, everybody. Okay, so we'll start out with shout outs from last week. We're going to give a quick shout out to Carol Biondo. Longboard says, hello from Calgary, Alberta. You have a great show. Static on Wax says, shout out from Banning, Southern California. And Sammy, give a quick shout out to Francisco Horna, whose birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. Is it a woman?
It's a guy.
It's a guy? All right. I don't want to call him sweetheart. Happy birthday, my guy. And I love all you other guys who just sent those messages. I appreciate your messages. And you love my show, and I love you guys. I really do.
Perfect. Okay. So we have Jason asked, hey, Sammy, can you tell me a story about John Gambino and the Cherry Hill Gambinos, please?
Nope.
Moving on to the next. Larry.
Listen, let me get to a little bit. I don't want to just say nope.
Okay.
Listen, I didn't have much interaction with them in Cherry Hill. I did have some interactions with them in Brooklyn, New York. Johnny Gambino was there, but they did have their little crew in Cherry Hill. I didn't have too many interactions with them over there, so I really don't have too much to say about it. That's why I said nope.
Okay. Larry Fishkind asks, who planted the bugs under Neil's deathbed?
Well, obviously, it was the FBI. Now, whether they got a doctor or a nurse, whoever came in and put it there, acting as a nurse or a doctor, and put it there, I mean, I really don't know. I don't think we ever found out, but we did know that there was a bug under there. There's tapes about it. The FBI had those tapes. So I assumed that, it was the FBI.
Okay. Michael Caputo asks, does Sammy know Tommy from Goodfellas?
I knew of him. I didn't have any dealings with him, but I did know of him.
Malik Irvin asks, hi, Sammy. If you were stuck on a deserted island and could only eat pizza or pasta, which would you choose?
It depends if the pasta had things in it like pasta vazul and pasta lenticchia and stuff like that. It would definitely be the pasta. Pizza to me is like lunch, dessert, but I'm stuck on an island. I would be a pasta guy.
Okay, we have one from Goomba. Hey, Sammy, do you ever plan on reaching out to Dina Melito? And if so, what would you say to her?
Under the circumstances, I wouldn't reach out to her. I don't think she really wants to hear from me. I'm involved in her father's murder. She was a great kid growing up. Sure she's a great woman. And I don't get involved in, bringing up people's past and talking to them and stuff like that. I do on certain occasions with certain people, but if she wanted to get in touch with me, I would definitely talk to her, but I'm not going to reach out. I'm going to leave her alone.
Okay. We have from Kima. Hey, Sammy, were you able to make amends with your brother-in-law, Eddie, before his death?
No. And let me give you a couple of reasons why I didn't make amends with this scumbag. This guy, when they came down, there was a hit on me. I think everybody knows that story, to kill me. Peter Gotti gave it to my brother-in-law and Huck. And my brother-in-law gave up the information of my wife, where she was living with my kids. My daughter had just given birth. So the hit team would go by my wife's house. Unfortunately for them, that I didn't live there. We were divorced. I lived on my own. Uh, but I mean, you send a hit team to my wife's house. You want me to make amends with him? I would like to dig him up and shoot him in the fucking head, but he's dead for quite a while. So, no, no amends. Listen, mafia is not gumbaya. We make friends. When you cross a certain line, I don't want to make friends with you no more. And I'm sure I'm talking for a good part of the mafia. I know there's a lot of guys now who wants to do gumbaya. Let's make friends. Let's talk. Fuck you and friends and talk. When you cross certain lines, I don't want to talk with you no more.
Okay. Softflow Action asks, "Hey Sammy, I had a woman say I R worded her. Then I used a pool cue on her. She decided to not testify, so I got a plea deal. Would the mob respect me?"
I don't know what IR means. I don't know what that means. But using a pool cue, I mean, I would try a hell of a lot of different things. The mob would. We don't hit women, beat up women. You could threaten her. You can give her money. You could do a lot of different things. But beating them, and I don't know if that works. You could beat a person and get a bigger indictment. It could get worse for you. Um, I know with certain witnesses or somebody who was going to be a witness, a bullet in the head usually stopped them. Now, whether it was a man or a woman, I think they would respect that more than beating them up with a pool stick. And I don't think that's a good persuader. I think that's something she may go further. Um, I don't know. I would try and convince her in so many different ways rather than physical abuse to her. I would try to talk to her better judgment and say what you're about to say is going to hurt a certain person, or I would plead. I would give her money. I would do a lot of things. I was famous for wrecking trials and bribing jurors, and I never really beat them up. I usually bribed them with money, and I did give some threats saying that you have to, once you took the money and you were going to do what you had to do it. And if you didn't, the next time you see me, I would kill you. So I gave those kind of threats. Um, but I didn't beat people up and do things like that.
Okay, we have Anthony Butcher. "Did you ever go to the Shell Bank restaurant in Howard Beach? My Uncle Bob owned it."
No, I never even heard of it, but no, I never went to that restaurant.
Okay, that's all I have for last week, guys. So, Anna, over to you.
Who knows?
Just want to make sure I get super close to this mic. Hi, Sam.
Hey,
What's
Anna.
going on? Happy Monday. Let me dive into this super chat for you, Sam. My goodness, your chat is flying. Forgive me, you guys. Mike Blackwell. "Hey, Sammy, can you share a good story or memory about you and John Gotti? I understand the end was rough, but there had to have been some good times early on."
Listen, there was so many good times. We really did. We had tough times. When you come that close, me and him, especially after Frankie the Chico was killed, it was me and him against the world. We knew we were in a war. We knew it was going to be bloody. Um, we were close. He had a good sense of humor. So do I. And we had a lot of good times as well. I did like and love the guy. Um, I felt bad the way he died, how to die. Um, but cancer's a bitch, no matter worse when you're in prison, I guess. But there was a lot of good times and things we did, and a lot of times we laughed and joked. I mean, we were together so many hours in a day. It was incredible. So yes, there's a lot of good times.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. Speaking of cancer, Alicia Melendez. "Sammy, I'm losing my mother to cancer. Can you please say a prayer for her? Thank you so much."
I feel right now just what I just said about cancer, and I definitely pray for her. I pray for anybody who has cancer. It's a miserable way to die. Um, It's eating your body from within, and I'm definitely going to say a prayer for her. It's not just fake because you said that, because I say a prayer for anybody who has cancer. I've lost friends and relatives through cancer. I had cancer myself 3 times. And the VA, I went to the VA. I had cancer on my head once, on top, a little bit. They did a surgery, took it out, was successful. I had cancer on my leg twice, 2 different times. And the VA, I went there, they did a surgery and took it out, and I'm still here. So I'm not a big fan of cancer, that's for sure.
Amen. Bill Curtis in the super chat. Sammy, did you see the 7-Eleven store incident in California? Any thoughts?
A 7-Eleven store in
Yeah.
California? No, I didn't see it. Is
Bill,
there? Could he tell me about it?
yeah, Bill, chat us back and let us know what you're talking about, and we'll expand on that. Alex is asking, please ask Gerard if he would ever consider coming on and talking about his story. We love you, Sammy, and the team.
Um, I, my son was busy with other things. He does help me with my business. He's now coming in more and more. Like I told you, he's sitting right across the room and taking notes and stuff like that. And he's helping me more and more. He's going to work with me more and more. He had a couple of business things that he put aside. One didn't work. The other one, he's put it aside. And we're going to work more and more. We sit, we talk. He's part of the team. So if you want to yell, Gerard, are you coming in? He said sometime soon. I'm going to kick his ass. Right now, we're going to have a fucking argument right in front of everybody. Not sometime soon. You're in now. Come on tomorrow. Keep coming in. And I love him. He's been busy. He has a big family, and he'll be coming in.
Awesome. Frank Livingston, it's my birthday today, Sammy. I know your first car was a white 1963 Impala SS ragtop, but what was your second car?
First of all, happy birthday, pal. My second car, right after that, I think I got arrested right after that. Louis Melito was in the car business. He gave me a stolen car. They fixed the numbers and all that crap, and he gave it to me. It was a Buick Electra, I think, something like that. It was really nice. I drove it away. I got stopped. He didn't take the fucking license plate off. A stolen license plate was still on the car. And there's a background, there's a history of I got pinched, but I wound up beating the case because I said I bought it from someone, and that person didn't exist. And why would I drive around with a stolen plate? So I wound up beating the case. But that was my second car. It was a Buick. And after that, I don't remember. I really don't remember. I had Pontiac. Then I got stuck with, when I started making a little money, I wind up with Lincoln. Lincolns. I had a 1972 white Lincoln Continental, black interior. It was really a sharp car. It was a used car. I bought it from the auction in Bordentown. It was a year or two old. It was a 1972, and it was already 1974. So I had that. I remember that car. I really liked that car. And then later on in life, when I got up in rank a little bit, I had a Mercedes-Benz. I really liked that car, not just because it's flashy and it's beautiful, but it drove beautiful. I mean, I was on a road, I could be doing 60 miles an hour. I hit the pedal, boom, car took right off. If I made a turn and I was going a little fast, the car hugged the road. The Germans can build cars and, planes and watches and stuff like technical stuff. The Germans are very good at that shit. So I like a Mercedes. I don't have one now, but if I ever make money, I'd probably buy another Mercedes just for the quality of the car, the way they work. I don't know if it's the same anymore, but I assume so.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. J. Marie. Hey, boss. As I was studying, excuse me, a thought came to mind. The mob has rules that have consequences if broken. In life, in society, we have rules that we must follow or else we suffer. Gangsters follow rules. Just a thought he was thinking.
It is true. Everybody has rules. Military, the mafia, police, the government. I mean, a lot of them don't get caught, but everybody has rules. You go in your house and you have rules. You're married, you have rules about your wife, how to treat your wife, and vice versa, how to treat your kids, how to raise your kids. You know, years ago, if I was disrespectful to an adult, my father would give me a slap on the neck. My mother would be hitting me with a pocketbook. You know, there's rules. There's rules with everything. And if you don't have rules, all you have is chaos. You have kids who grow up who don't listen to nothing or nobody. And that's some of these kids that are in schools who are involved in school shootings, shit like that. I guarantee you they had horrible parenting. And if not, you know, they always say, oh, it's not my kid. Fuck you. You knew that kid was a fucking something wrong with the kid all along. I'm sure the teachers see it in school. I don't know how they get to that point and they wind up in school shootings and shit. You guaranteed that that kid has a history of being a fuck up. Just like me, I was dyslexic. I was in a gang. I had trouble in schools. Now, if I would have went to a school, I never even thought of that, doing anything like that. But if I did, there's a history. Everybody has a little bit of a history growing up. So, and you're right. Everything has rules. Without rules, you have anarchy and nothing but chaos.
Thank you, Sammy. Johnny Roastbeef. Hey, Sammy, have you ever seen the movie Reservoir Dogs? I think you'd like it. Cheers.
Reservoir Dogs. I think I saw that. Was that a military picture? Reservoir Dogs?
I don't remember.
I think it was a military. I remember the name. And I saw it, and my feelings with the name. I liked the movie, so I think it was some sort of a military movie. I like those. You know, I was in the military, so I like a lot of those movies. Some of them are very well done.
Fat Irish says, much respect to you, Sammy. He's also wondering where the F is your champagne.
I drank it.
All of it.
I drank it all. Once we hit 100 million subscribers, I be honest, I got a little whipped, you know, because I'm not a big drinker, but I had a couple of extra glasses. I was really happy. I never, in my wildest imagination, thought that we would ever hit 100 million views, and we did. And it was, you know, we all drank, and I did one or two too many. I was excited. I was happy, and that's what happens when you get happy. So
the bubbles hit different.
yes, they hit different. But I had a good time with that booze and that champagne. I really did. I enjoyed the day. I enjoyed the moment. Enjoyed the views, and I just had a great day.
Awesome, Sammy. OG Mike D. Have you ever heard the song Mr. Moran by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? If so, did you like it?
Mr. Moran? No, I don't think I ever heard it.
Awesome. Everybody's saying Reservoir Dogs is a Quentin Tarantino movie. I know it's about that group of guys, right? Fill us in, guys. Reservoir Dogs was a gangster film.
That's it. I know the picture. It was a
right.
gangster. They kidnapped a cop, and they were walking around. There was a lot of great actors in it. Yes, I remember the picture. I loved it. I loved it. I forgot who was in it, but there's all big names in it. It was great.
Awesome. Daniel Lyons is asking, Sammy, me and my family are from Australia, and we want to take a holiday in New York. Is it safe to go?
No, I'm going to be totally honest. You know, my daughter, my granddaughter is there. I have friends and relatives there. They're afraid. Don't go on a train. There's homeless. There's crimes. No. Listen, I'm going to give you the right advice. Go somewhere else where you could enjoy. There's a lot of places in the United States. If you want to come to the United States, then they're good. They're clean. You can, you know, be safe. Right now, it's a mess. California and New York are a mess. They're in the papers all the time. It's not like when I was there. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. There's a lot of beautiful sights, but there's a lot of ugliness going on there. And I'm not going to lie, I won't bullshit you. There's so many other places you can go that are great. I have my team put together some sort of a list of places that are really great to go to. I know there's the Grand Canyon. I don't know what you want to see exactly, but there's a lot of places down south. Um, that South Carolina, Georgia. There's a bunch of places that are on the upswing. I just did a show not too long ago in Tennessee. I was shocked when I went there. The construction going on. It was beautiful. It was trendy, and there was cops all over the place. So I think it was pretty well crime free. So check it out before you make that kind of a move.
Thank you, Sammy. Chad in the chat is saying Sammy should star in a mob comedy titled Breaking Balls.
Breaking balls?
Breaking Balls.
Oh, Bo?
Balls.
I was thinking of making a thing like My Blue Heaven. I saw that movie a while ago, and I mean, I remember I laughed for hours. I used to love Peter Sellers movies, Peter Sellers, and he was Cato and the cop and this and that and the other thing. And I would love to do a movie like that. I love to clown around, so I would love to be that, play in that movie. So, and I think I would have a blast doing that, and it's a good thought, and it's not out of my head. I may do that eventually. So, that's my answer to that.
Danielle is saying, please tell Sammy I love him. Heart, heart, heart.
Danielle, I love you. Heart, heart, heart.
Let's see. Oh, Bill Curtis is back in the super chat about that 7-Eleven incident in California. A brazen robbery in Stockton, California. Wouldn't let me send it. Sorry. Owner is protecting his store. It's a 30-second video, and I thought the owner handled it East Coast style.
I think I've heard of that where there's a shootout or some shit in the store and this and that and the other thing. Hey, listen, a lot of these guys, Koreans and people, they come over there working hard-working people. They open up a store and they get robbed every other week. They get fed up with it. They get a license to get a gun or protection. And you're not going to rob that store over and over again. Sooner or later, they're going to fight back. And I think that's one of the stories where the guy did just that. And my hat is off to him, bro. Protect what's yours. You the thief, there's things you could rob. A fucking 7-Eleven store, people are fucking low-level people like us, like you, and you're robbing them for peanuts. And you're going to be violent towards them and their family. They're going to protect their family. You want to rob an insurance company, whatever the fuck you want to do, that's fine with me. I don't care. But doing stuff like that, I'm dead against it. A bodega, you want to go in, put a gun in a guy's face. Come on, the guy's barely making a living. Go some fucking where else. Go do something else. Grow up. Get a fucking job. Do something. You're a big shot robbing a fucking 7-Eleven or a bodega or anything like that. That's not a tough guy no more. I think you need a fucking brain transplant. So it annoys the fuck out of me to hear these stories.
Absolutely. Let's see. One Telly, R and one. Sammy, I once started a book in prison about gun smuggling right after my Colombian boss killed my friend in Miami. Who can I contact about publishing my book and have it made into a movie?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of publishing houses. Books don't move as well as they used to. It's tough with books today. As far as getting a movie, if you get a book or you write a story and you want to get it into a movie, send something down, a story, a script, whatever you want to do, send it down to me. Maybe I can help you in that capacity. But a book, I don't, there's a lot of publishing houses, big ones, and but books ain't moving like they used to, So if you want to get it down to me, that's fine. There's producers and companies out there. If you have a good story, is it legit? If it's a legitimate story, it's even better yet. Fiction is good, but a true story, people have more of an interest in truth. So if you want to send it down to me, I'm welcome. The girls will give you the address to how to mail it to me. And if I can't do anything with it, I'll send it back to you and I'll give you advice or whatever.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. So, loyal viewer Elgato back in the super chat.
My man El Gato.
Sammy, salute. When you were in the Tijuana prison, how many times did they say to you, no comprende?
A lot of times. Every time I'd ask a question that they didn't like, no comprende, no comprende. But I was a kid. They were goofing on me. I think they were playing with me. I think they enjoyed, you know, the confusion because I was a kid. I got busted and I got put in a Mexican prison. It wasn't a prison. It was the jail before prison. So it was like a shithole. It looked like a cowboy movie. It was a little shithole, stones and whatever. So I think they played with me and they liked to, every time I asked them a question, am I going to go see the prosecutor, the court? No comprende. And they would goof on me, laugh. So I knew they were goofing on me. But in a way, it was good because they were toying with me. I wasn't worried. It didn't scare me because they're playing. They were goofing, so they weren't nasty or shit like that. But I think they were playing more than anything else. And it was cool.
That's awesome.
There's a couple of times when they asked me a couple of questions, serious. And I told them, no comprende, no comprende. And they laughed back. So I tell you, it wasn't, horrible. But it was, as a kid, I was confused. I was on the lam, I got busted, and I'm in fucking Mexico in jail. I said, oh my God, nobody knows where the fuck I am. I have no idea, no nothing. So I was a little concerned. I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sammy. Vinny Detroit in the super chat. Hello, Sammy. I had a dream that I met you in person at your studio. Much love and respect to you and your team.
That's great, Vinny. I can assure you didn't meet me and my team, but it was probably a pretty good dream, I hope. And someday, who knows? Maybe you will meet me in my studio or for coffee or something. Who knows? Maybe your dream will come true. Listen, I had a lot of dreams that I woke up and sometime in the future, it wound up almost like it came true. So I said, oh my God, I think I dreamt this and now I'm living it. So you never know.
Awesome. We had a question from Aaron Brownlee. Sammy, what is the Gambino family doing now?
I don't know. Right now, I don't think they're doing shit, to be honest with you. I think they do small crimes, not too small, like construction, different types of businesses. The organized crime changed a lot. They don't kill anymore, from what I understand. It could happen, but they don't want it to happen. You're not going to get permission for it to happen, which is a good thing if that's true. So they're into bookmaking numbers, bullshit things, little scams, construction jobs. Maybe they could, even the unions, they lost their power with the unions. There's so many places. The government crushed them in so many different areas. But if they're doing little things, making a living, maybe having the gambling, they're cutting a game, crap game, a poker game or something, doing stuff like that. And if they're doing that, more power to them. They're making good moves, smart moves. When you kill and you do certain things, after a while, the public hates you. So they're not doing those kind of things. And the government knows it. They're not taking the same heat that we took. So they feel, it's a bullshit crime. So instead of 20 agents looking at you up your ass all the time, you got 2. You got a better odds of not going to prison and not dangerous crime. So, they're being left alone a little bit.
Sammy, we're getting a lot of support about the Bullpen and co-host Jay Dyer. They love him. Michael Vecchione also is getting a lot of support. I just wanted to go into a question. I watched the Michael Francis and Carrie Lake interview. I know we watched it as well. And we spoke about Carrie Lake. She's a hometown favorite here in Arizona. We love her here. And we spoke about her on the Bullpen as well, on this voter fraud. We got a lot of questions in about your thoughts on that.
Well, I really, really believe there was voter fraud. I mean, when you listen to her, listen, she was a heavyweight in the news media. She made a good, strong living. She was very well liked. Um, she was asked, technically to lie. And she quit her job and decided after a while to run to become the governor. Now, why wouldn't you want a woman like that? She's an honest woman, straight up, wouldn't lie, quit a job. Now, that's the kind of person you want as your governor, your president, your senator, whatever it may be. Now, I personally listened to her a number of times. I personally like her. I know people who helped her in her campaign, and I thought she would be a shoo-in. And the other woman who ran, I don't really know her, so I don't want to knock her. I don't know her, but I believe it was rigged, the election. And I know Michael Franchise did an interview with her, and I believe it was a good interview. Michael's a good guy when it comes to stuff like that. I would love to do an interview with her. If she hears this, I would love to do an interview with her. I understand she may run for senator. I understand she's doing a book, and I'm behind her 100%. Anybody who's that honest, who gives up a big amount of money a week making to be honest and go forward, I'm behind you 100%. She's fighting for us, the little people.
Yes, she's all about secure the border, exposing
Secure the
voter fraud.
border, all kinds of things. So, yeah, I would love to talk to her. And I'm 100% behind her, even if I never talk to her. And,
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, I know we posted some stories about your upcoming interview. It's a surprise drop, and we're just giving it away right now with Alex Jones. A lot of chatter over the interwebs about that one.
And that was a hell of an interview. I know he's very outspoken. I didn't know how it was going to go. I think he felt the same exact way. I mean, we meshed perfectly. We both have the same outlook on things. We're both outspoken. I think he's a little more outspoken than me. He's got a louder voice, a little stronger voice. But I enjoyed the interview. I loved the interview. It was great. And people seeing that already?
Not yet. It's in
Oh,
post.
they didn't see it yet. Wait until you see this
man.
video. It's off the charts. And whoever said, Jay, I love Jay. He asked me, once somebody asked me, if you run for president, who would be your vice president? And I said, Jay. And I asked him, and he said, Sammy, I'm in. I'm your vice president if you run. I love him. And the same thing with Michael Vecchione. He's a great guy, prosecutor, this, that, and the other thing. Another guy who tells the truth and gets to the point, and he fights the other side. He's not just on the other side. When he sees an injustice on the other side, he'll point it out. I love that kind of guy. He's got like a Carrie Lake type of attitude towards life, towards people. He wants to help people, not just some prosecutors like the people around indicting Trump want to put him in fucking jail every 2 minutes, make up lies and every other bullshit. Not Michael. Michael's the type of guy, he despises that. So, and I have him around me with Jay and Anna and myself, and we talk. And wait until you see this one with this interview.
Alex Jones, man, it was great. So I think it really just sheds light on ourthing.tv and what an amazing streaming platform it's really turned out to be. And I know you wanted to give a gift to the people for all your YouTube subscribers, and with putting the Salvatore out on YouTube. Can you talk to us about that, Sam?
Yes. And what I'm doing that today, I think after the Q&A, I'm putting out a teaser for the Salvatore on YouTube. It'll be, live, and it'll come out every Monday right after the live, and every Wednesday will be an episode. There's 5 episodes in the Salvatore. We're going to put it out every Wednesday right after the live. You'll see the teaser first, then you'll see the first episode. It's a little on the short side. It was the first time we did a movie. I'm in it. I'm starring in it. I did get 2 hours of acting lessons, if that matters. And but I want you to watch that. And, it's on YouTube. It's free, so watch it. And text me back, and especially on the Monday Lives or whenever you want to text me back about it, and tell me the truth, how you feel about it. It's our first movie. I mean, if you want me to hang up my hat, like I heard somebody sing, and I said, listen, don't give up your other job. If you tell me don't give up your other job, I won't act anymore. But I want to do some small movies on my own. And I want to put this out as a test to see how many hits we get, number one. Number two, I want to read all the comments to see what your opinion is. I trust your opinion. I love your opinions. I'm sure there's going to be the people who dislike me. Is going to be some negative, things. So, be telling me, well, he's acting now. What else? And then what's next? Next is the Irish jig. So I will be doing the Irish jig if this works out. So
It's going to be Sammy the Bull's Christmas traditional songs and hymns. I think actually Ricardo has the trailer pulled up for Salvatore. You want us to give that a little spin for your people?
absolutely, I'll be quiet. Put it out. Tell me when it's done. Put out the trailer.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Take a look at these.
I know Joey Mayo. I know everything about him. I know how he kills. Joey Mayo was a friend of ours, a maid guy. He did so many fucking murders, he became a fucking serial killer. He's cunning,
How are you, Abby?
super dangerous.
Smile. Smile.
He steals the identity of his victims.
I'm your husband. I'm your husband, right?
He tortures them before he kills them.
To your right. Look there. Stay there.
And he's a real sick fuck. And now you're asking me for help with this piece of shit.
Take a look at these.
I know Joey Mayo. I know everything about him. I know how he kills. Joey Mayo was a friend of ours, a maid guy. He did so many fucking murders, he became a fucking serial killer. He's cunning,
How are you, Abby?
super dangerous.
Smile. Smile.
He steals the identity of his victims.
I'm your husband. I'm your husband, right?
He tortures them before he kills them.
To your right. Look there. Stay there.
And he's a real sick fuck. And now you're asking me for help with this piece of shit.
Take a look at these.
All right, guys. So that's the trailer. Now, Wednesday, you'll see episode 1, and every Wednesday, 5 episodes. What? So there'll be a trailer every Monday, and on Wednesday, there'll be an episode for the next 5 weeks. So I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear all your comments, and if the comments, everything is good, I intend to make another movie. This is my first one I did, and the next one I think, well, not to say this one isn't good, but the next one I think, whatever mistakes I made, I will be better. I look at myself, what I did, and I'm going to be better in the second one. And it's about a cartel, the Anna story, and we wind up robbing a cartel or whatever. I don't want to give away the facts, but we're working on writing it now. And pretty shortly, I'm going to get some investors maybe and start the filming of it, hopefully, especially while this writer's strike is on. I'll have the opportunity to do this and start it, and it'll take a little while to do it. We work this here, Salvatore. I'll give you this too so you understand. We work 3 days on, 1 day off. 3 days on, 1 day off. 3 days on, 1 day off. 3 days on, and then we wrapped. That was it. And then it went to editing. I would want to make it like it's a short. They're shorts. I would want to make them longer. So know that they're shorts. But the next one I'm going to be doing is going to be longer, right around a half hour. So I would love your opinions. If you see them, they're 12, 11, 12, 13 minutes long, each episode. So now if you like it and you wanted it to be 30 minutes, a little bit longer, let me know. So I really, really would like to have your professional opinions on coloring, editing, whatever you want to tell me, whatever advice you want to give me, would be well received.
Amen, Sammy. I think it's great. It's amazing. High quality production work you guys really did out here.
Yeah, we did this, and we did this on our own. There's no actors or actresses, and we did this on our own. We had fun doing it. I want to add that, we had a blast doing that. So I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. Now I'm enjoying putting it out and sharing it with you guys and having conversation with you guys about it. I got my money's worth.
Awesome. So we have Sean Deaver 77 in the super chat. How's the heat wave out in Arizona? Sammy, you get me through my workday on Mondays. It's 105 degrees in my work truck. Can you tell UPS to get us AC? Love you, bro.
If you're out here in Arizona, 105 is not too bad. We had that little heat wave. Every day was 116, 117 for 4 or 5 days in a row. And if you don't have air conditioning in your trucks, let me know. And who is it? UPS.
Mm-hmm.
I will be balking to them. I will be on the phone and I will tell them, get those fucking drivers air conditioning. I got some, calls from some people who there. If you don't get them air conditioning, I'm going to do videos. I have a big audience, and I'm going to be telling them that you're killing these fucking drivers out here. I'll threaten them with that. I will help you with that as much as I can.
Awesome. You hear that, Sean? He's got your back, bro. Jacob McIntosh several times in the super chat. Sammy, any stories on Hugh Apple's McIntosh?
Listen, I was very, very close. He was with the Colombo family, with Carmine Persico. He's one of the top shooters, real tough guy. I knew him very well. In the first war in the Colombo family with the Gallows, I wasn't in the first war. The second war that broke out, I was with them. I hit the mattresses. He was one of the guys who were in the mattresses with us. Shorty Spiro, Sally Abanese, a whole bunch of guys. And he was a great guy. When I had met Stymie, I met him through somebody. He was in Doc's bar. I didn't know Stymie yet. And he had a beef with Max. They both pulled guns. I knew that Stymie was going to be in trouble. A guy came to me and said, this guy Stymie's a real good guy. This happened last night. I said, oh boy, he's going to be in trouble. And I reached out. I met Stymie. Then I reached out to McIntosh. I sat with him. And I said, Mac, I understand you had this thing. I met this kid. Stymie's with me. He's a tough guy. He's a tough kid. He didn't know you. He said, Sammy, I know. So I said, listen, I want to have your word that you're not going to do nothing, bro. He said, what do you mean? I know you, bro. You'll want to get even, you'll whack him. He said, Sammy, you know me. Of course I will. I said, I need your word. I need your fucking word that you're not going to whack him. He says, he's with you? I said, yes, he's with me now. And I want to apologize for him. You don't have to do that, Sammy. He's okay. I like tough kids anyway. Don't worry about it. It's off the radar. And that's how Sammy became with me. And so McIntosh was a good guy, Irish dude, couldn't get made, but one of the best.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Jacob McIntosh, is that somebody you're related to? JB Weld, a weekly loyal viewer. JB, hey. Sammy, did any made guys join the military after being made? Would you allow a made guy to join the military in your crew?
No, we didn't join the military after we were made, but there was a lot of guys who were in World War II and who were in the military. I know a lot of guys who were made, who I was in the military way before I was made. Usually they're kids and they go in the Army, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's where usually you were drafted because then there was a draft. You got drafted or you joined because of a war. And when they came out, you didn't get made that young. So, no, you wouldn't get made and then go into the military. We wouldn't allow it. It's for you to join. If you got drafted, I guess you had no choice. But no, I don't know of anybody who was made and then went into military. It's usually the other way around. But there was a lot of guys who were in the military, especially during World War II. A lot of the old timers, listen, a lot of mafiosos are very patriotic. They love the country. They've done criminal activity, but they love the country. They don't mistake being a gangster that's somebody who's a monster or doesn't love the country. They're very patriotic. They love the neighborhoods. They protect the neighborhoods. They're patriotic towards the country. I don't know too many people who are not that way. So, but I don't know it getting made and then going in. They wouldn't allow you to go join because that's backwards. So, and I don't know of anybody who even thought of doing that or something. Because usually when you got made, I was fairly young. I was 31. I'm not going to get made and then go join the military. Mm-hmm. It's backwards.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Let's see. Graham in the super chat. Sammy, I just wanted to say much love and respect from London. A perfect gentleman and morals. Heart, heart, kiss, kiss.
Thank you so much.
Ben Rios in the super chat. Hi, Sammy. Can a captain or soldier make more money than the boss if they create their own scheme or through legitimate money?
Yes, but it's very hard to make more money than the boss because he's got so many people giving him money from so many different ends. But there is guys who had big, businesses, legitimate. There's Patsy Conti owned 5 supermarkets, so he made a ton of money. He also was a drug dealer and made money, but he kicked up. But it's hard to outdo your boss as far as money's concerned. There's so many different people who give him the money from so many different businesses or scams or scores or whatever, gambling or whatever it may be. He's getting money in from hundreds of people. We've got to remember, associate kicks up to the made guy. The made guy is kicking up to the captain. Now, a captain could have 5, 8, 6, 10, 15 made guys under him and associates under him. So when he's kicking up, that envelope is getting bigger and bigger. Then it goes up. There's an underboss and a conseiller in the administration. The money that's coming up is enormous. I mean, then there's monies coming from different families on different scams that they do. It's hard to outdo them. You know, I told the story one time. I went to Paul's house. He told me, go in the basement with Tommy Bilotti and help him. We brought down 5 or 6 suitcases, and I didn't know what was in them. And we had a table set up, and Tommy said, open up that, bring a suitcase to the table, open it up. When I opened it up, it was full with money. And I'm not talking about dollars or $5 bills. It was 20s, 50s, 100s, stacks of it. After the third suitcase, I said, how much money is here? He says, I have no fucking clue, but it's huge. It's in the multi-millions of fucking dollars. And so I never even saw money that much. I really honestly don't know how much it would be, but it must have been tens of millions back then. And so I really don't know. And he had his own business, a chicken business. And when he got arrested one time, they put it in a newspaper. His chicken business was grossing $52 million a year back then in the fucking 80s, 90s. I mean, it was in the 70s and 80s, not the 90s. So, I mean, I have no idea how much a boss makes. I know John Gotti was raking in. I was bringing in on my end things I was doing. Me, one guy, $2 million a year to him, approximately. Even when I went to court, they showed the numbers and it came out. It was about $2 million a year. Now, I was one guy. Yeah, I was the underboss. But there was guys in there, the Gonziera family, captains, May guys, associates. Only God knows how much John was pulling in a year. But it had to be 8, 10, 12 million a year. And people estimate, you come out with the newspapers, they're making $2 billion. That's bullshit. But you could bank on, I would say John was making 10, 12, $15 million easy. I'm one guy who was bringing in $2 million. When his son got married, son kept a list of everybody who came to the wedding and a list of how much they gave. Like legitimate people do. You're not supposed to do that as a gangster, but he did it. My name, my happy wedding present was $20,000. So it said Sammy the Bull Gravano, $20,000. That's how much I gave him. One guy. God knows what he just made just on his wedding day. So it's a money machine at a certain point, especially back then. Right now, it's not like that anymore. It's probably still fairly big, but not like that.
And is there someone in charge of keeping the ledger and running the numbers and keeping track of all that?
No. This is an illegitimate business. Not supposed to be no money, no track. You can track it. You put it in your head. Sometimes you have a Sherlock book, and you better hide that. Don't get caught with that book. But you're not going to keep track of all of those things. It's not a legitimate business. We don't have accountants and people and secretaries to do all that shit.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. That was great. Steve Jackson. Hey, Sammy, what was Frankie DeChico's crew like and who was in it?
Frankie DeChico had a very, very powerful crew, but he had a personal family was powerful. His whole family was in the mob. His father was a made guy. His uncle Georgie was a made guy and became a captain. Cousins, Frankie Fabiano was a cousin. He was a young guy. He's younger than me. He became a made guy. His whole family was. The women weren't in the mafia. I don't want to say that, but they were tough. They were behind their husbands 100%, and they knew they were mobbed up. So the whole family around Frankie was extremely tough, good people.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Menage a trois in the super chat. Can you please share any stories or thoughts you have about Angelo Bruno as well as Kansas City, Missouri?
Angelo Bruno, the only thing I really know that he was the docile Don. In other words, he didn't do a lot of murders. It was hard to get permission to do anything. He wanted to keep things low key. What I do know about it, that he was killed. I know who killed him. I know the whole story because the war broke out after Angelo Bruno was killed between Johnny Keys and Nicky Scarfo. There was other guys they had killed, so I'm not going to talk about all of them. And I wound up getting a contract from the commission, all 5 families, to Paul Castellano, to me, to go kill Johnny Keys. I did a whole story about it on my podcast. It'll be a movie. We're working with people right now. As soon as the strike is over, we'll be working on putting it together, writing it, people like that. Nick Pileggi is a friend of mine. He'll be writing that movie with me and himself. So that's what I know about him. I never knew him personally, never met him. I know him after his death. But I knew who he was. He was a boss. They called him the Docile Don. He was very, very close with Carlo Gambino, and he was close with Paul Castellano until he was killed.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. We have about 3 minutes left. We have a super chat from Fish for a nice envelope, and no comment, no question, just the weekly kick up.
Thank you, Fish.
Any last parting words for our people, Sammy? For your people, Sammy?
Parting words, I think we said a mouthful with everything we did and said. You know, I love you guys. You've been an inspiration for me. Great messages, kind words. All of you guys who text me and send me messages, you have family members who are sick. I know it's tough. I really do. And you have to stay strong. Keep them strong. Keep them comfortable and safe for as long as you could. It's rough. I lost my mother. I lost my father. I lost both of my sisters. I had a brother and a sister who died before I was even born. I know what it is to lose them. I know the suffering in between when they are alive and you're witnessing it. You know, so you just got to do the best you can. Keep them comfortable. Give them good memories. And if it's incurable or they're on their way out, just make it as easy as possible for them and show them a little bit of love. And I know it's not easy, and I'm behind you all with my prayers. I am. I mean, I'm a people's person. I love people, and sickens me to hear so many stories, but that's life. I'm up in age. I'm 78. I know, listen, I'm not too far off. Those are the ages, 78, 80, 85, 90. You're gone. We live life once. Enjoy the life you have now. The struggles, don't let them push you down. Get through the struggles. We live life once. Get through as best as you can get through. Enjoy what you have. And it doesn't mean you have to go out and do all kinds of things. Enjoy a meal with a friend. You know, I was saying, I've been so busy, I'm tied up all the time. This past weekend, I went out a few times. Met with some people. Anna, we went to a pool party. A friend, the guy in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. I had a fucking blast. Really, really a good time. I let my guard down. I relaxed. I chilled. I drank a little bit more than normal, but I had fun. The guy had his huge turtle. I think a lot of you people may have seen some of the pictures. There was some women there talking, playing, flirting. I mean, I really, really had fun. And this week as well, I went to a place, Buck and Roger. It's like a fish and type of joint. And we went there with a friend of mine from Southern Wine and Spirits. I had a blast. Met a couple of his friends, his girlfriend. We had a blast. Then I met somebody when I came back. Her uncle is a screenwriter. He wanted to get in touch with me. He saw her at the pool party. And he says, "Oh, you know him? I'm a screenwriter. Could you?" So she brought some messages. I had a meeting with her yesterday. Real nice girl, nice woman. And so I told her, Anna will hook up a Zoom call with your uncle and we'll see, what he does and what he doesn't want to do. Like I told you, I have intentions of making some smaller movies like the Salvatore. And so maybe he could write the bigger stuff. I'm hooked up with the bigger stuff. I don't need anybody. So,
Sammy, it's pretty incredible. I know the podcast R thing is just a moment in history. It's a historic archive of a gem. And that's why these movies and scripted shows are going to be phenomenal. But when you are in front of you, face to face, and these people, I mean, I'm getting texts still. When you tell these stories, like the Johnny Keys story, and everybody in the room is crying, it's just on another level.
and you heard Roberto today. His girlfriend was there, and I don't know how the Johnny Keys story came up, and she almost begged me to say it. And I told it like I say on the thing. And when I talk about it, I choke up a little bit because I relive them.
That's right.
Maybe that's why I'm a good storyteller. I relive it, and she started crying at the table. She just busted out tears. And it was great. I mean, I got a little mad because she was crying for Johnny Keys, not me. So anyway.
Crying into her mimosa?
Yeah. So, I appreciate it. We're going to do, I'm finding out, I have a relationship now with Anthony.
Anthony Reggiano.
Yeah,
Oh,
Anthony
he's great,
Reggiano.
man. Yeah.
And I did an interview with him. We're working on it. It's phenomenal. Wait until you see this interview. And we connected so good because I know, the story, and I know my part of it and what I know. I don't know what the other side knew or said. Now, Anthony was on that side. So now when he's telling the story or when we talk together, it filled in so perfectly. I knew what he didn't know, and now he knows what I didn't know. So now that's why I'm really considering either a remake or retelling these stories. I'm talking about a possible remake. My son brought up an idea. Why don't you just take it from episode 6 and start with all the new stories that you're hearing and you're part of it. So I don't know. I'm considering a whole bunch of different ways of doing things. And but there's a lot more to tell now. And a lot of you guys are asking me questions that are waking me up. Like I couldn't remember a restaurant that we used to go to near the bridge. And I said it on the live. I don't remember the name. I had about 6 or 8 people say it was La Tavola restaurant. So, and you guys are right. As soon as you said it, it was La Tavola restaurant. So this is so beautiful for me because when I turn around, I say it was a restaurant. It was right on the bridge. I can't remember the name. You got to remember, I'm talking about things that happened 40-something years ago, 50 years ago. And now I'm getting refreshed by the name, the La Tavola. Boom, came right to me. Those people are right. Well, it started with one guy, and I said it was right. Then 2 or 3 other people told me the name. So you guys are giving me a lot of help. That's why I say with Salvatore, give me all the help you want. Tell me the truth. If you think I suck, tell me I suck. I mean, tell me the truth on how you feel the movie went. And I would love that communication with you guys. And when it comes out on a Wednesday, the following Monday, maybe we could chat about it a little bit. And then the following teaser will come out, and Wednesday, the next one. And we could do that for a while. And if you have any ideas for a movie, or you think what I should do or not act or in it, be honest, tell me. I got thick skin. So, and if you really say I suck, fuck you. For those couple of people.
Fangu.
Yeah, Fangu.
Sammy, we're getting some comments that are asking you to sing us out with Sinatra.
Sing a chat with Sinatra?
Sing us out. Sing us out with a Sinatra song. You were singing at the beginning. I don't know if we had went live yet, but you were singing and you were hitting riffs and you were hitting vibrato. It was beautiful. I'm like, if you wouldn't have been the Mafia, you would have been a Jersey Boys 5th member. Go ahead, Sammy.
I don't know what was I singing. What is Sinatra singing? I mean, I forget all the words. I don't remember all the words.
Just hum us a little something, Bob.
What's the thing that when he says, where?
Everybody loves somebody.
No, 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 no. The thing Sinatra sang where it's, he's had his life and
And
it's,
now the end is near. Da,
yeah,
da, 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 da,
yeah,
da,
yeah.
da, da, da.
And now the end is near.
My way.
Yeah, it's my way.
I've made it
And,
too.
and I've done it my way.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Bangula, that city of Gagula. It's because I don't know the words. But listen, when I was a kid, we used to sing in the schoolyard. We really did. Jerry Papa was usually the lead singer. I sang lead once in a while. We would sit there, drink a barrel of an empty 55-gallon drum with a fire in the schoolyard. All the young little chippies all around us and kissing and hugging and sitting down. We had a blast. So I used to sing, really, when I was a kid. But my voice got a little fucked up between smoking and everything else, I guess. But I was pretty good. We used to sing, yeah, let me sing this. It was like a harmony type of thing. And we used to just harmonize. Nellie's got a belly 'cause Jimmy didn't use a rubber.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, I mean,
Think that was Sammy the Bull?
yeah,
The musical.
yeah. But when we said rubber, everybody would come in, rubber. Even the girls.
Like a 5-part harmony.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
But we had a blast doing that. And so I enjoyed my life. I got ups and downs. I got bumps in the road. Still to today, this fucking strike. I would like to go to Hollywood and negotiate the strike. I would bring I love horses, so I don't want to put a horse's head in somebody's bed, but maybe a deer or a bear or some fucking thing, put the head in the bed, straighten this strike out. Come on, let's get it over with. Let's get Hollywood rolling again.
Amen.
People out here want entertainment. Let's make a fucking deal. Studios, cut up some money, give them some more, and you guys back off. A deal is a negotiation. You get a little more, you take a little less, everybody makes money, and get going. Out of work is not helping anybody. Strikes are bullshit. Of course, sometimes one side gets a little stubborn and you need to do the strike. All right, you did the strike. You made your point. Now sit down and negotiate. It's a give and take. Somebody will come to work for me and they want XYZ and I want ABC. So we sit down and we talk. You give a little bit. I give a little bit. Somewhere in the middle, there's a deal that we can walk away with. It always works. And if you argue and fight and you want to be like a little kid, that's what fucks everything up. Have a drink, go to dinner, relax, make a fucking deal. Everybody goes to work. Everybody got a little bit more. Maybe you didn't get 100% what you want. So you got 50%. Next couple of years when a strike comes, you could get a little bit more. Or a little bit, or give a little, you get a little less. I don't know. Listen, everybody's blaming the studios. And I'm on the actor's side and the director and the writer's side. But I'm going to make this statement. The studios make a lot of money, but they take a lot of gamble. They make a fucking movie. It'll cost them $200 million, $500 million, $1 billion to make a fucking movie. They don't know if they're going to get that back. They don't know if it's going to flop. So you got to give them a little bit of a leadway too. Of course they're making a lot of money, but they're gambling with big, big fucking money. So a lot of times they do make a lot of money, but sometimes they could lose. So don't look at the number that they make. What about the movies that they lose? So I'm going to take their part just a little bit, and then I'm going to talk to them. But you're in a good position, bro. Most of the times you can win. So give a little bit up, whatever, and you know how to negotiate. You're big guys, and you corporate guys up on top, $20 million a year, $30 million a year salary. Bro, does it fucking matter? You're making $30 million a year if you made $28,500,000 a year? Does it really fucking matter? Give that $1.5 million, $1.5 million back to make it work. Do it with a couple of other execs. You know, I'd like to make money too. If I make a movie, I would like to make $1 million. But if I made a movie and I walked away with 200,000 and everybody loved my movie and everybody was happy, I would be happy with the 200,000. It's not always the amount of money. It's what you do with your money. It's whatever. And then when you get to a certain point of wealth in your life, bro, you could only eat one steak at a time. You don't need to buy 15 steaks. And let me tell you something. We talked about it, you know, short lives and life is short. You can't take that fucking money with you. So, you know, be fair with people. Be honest. Do the right thing. What you could take with you is fucking love. Not $100 bill unless they stick it up in your mouth or in your ass and you could take it wherever you're going, which is nowhere. So, take a little less. People will love you. People will love you, and when you die, they will remember you, that you're a good man, generous man. They'll love those things about you. Be a greedy bitch. You ain't taking that money. Nobody will give a fuck you're dead. Nobody will miss you. So
Well said,
that's my
Sammy.
advice to all you people striking and whatever is going on. You know, give and take.
So, Sammy, we're about 15 minutes over. I hope that's okay. I really wanted to get to this super chat. Very generous envelope from Miss Betty and Tivano. Screw the Mercedes. Give me a Maserati M20 Cielo. Viva Italia, baby. Kiss, 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 heart, heart, heart. Italian flag.
Love you, Betty. Listen, you know, you leave an envelope. You can leave me a Mercedes. I'll settle for that little Mercedes.
I'll settle for Alfa Romero.
All right, guys. Listen, with Betty at the end, I ain't going to talk to nobody. That's my girl, bro. So I'm going to wind it up, and I'm going to wind it up in my old usual adios, motherfuckers.